Hey everybody, in this video we're going to do a quick little modification to this fluorescent light replacement using an LED strip that I have. Bought a case of these not too long ago and I didn't want to put them in a fixture, so I actually 3D printed these ends, these mounting brackets, to replace the pin ends, and then you can see I put a cable gland in the end. So what I'm going to do in this video is we're going to add one of these connectors and a small tail to here. So we'll take an old power cord that I have, this one here, and we're going to snip off just a little bit of it, maybe about 8 or 10 inches, and that's all we're going to need. So one end is going to go into the connector and the other end is going to go into the lamp. So let me put the lamp out of the way and we'll do the connector first, since that's a little easier to deal with. Alright, so this connector is held together with, you can see it's got the one screw. Let's zoom in a little bit. Nope, that's not in, that's out. There we go. So it has the screw on the top, and there's 3 screws inside on the contacts. You can see right here, and then strain relief, and then something for locking the cable. So I'm going to take these out. Now they do have nuts underneath, so as long as they keep this flat, those nuts should stay in place. So I have the wires all stripped, and we are going to slide the strain relief over, and let's start with the first line connection, which is this pin closest to us. Alright, there's one. And then ground, even though there's no ground on the lamp. Alright, so those are in, and to keep them from coming out, I am going to add some solder. That'll also hold the screws from moving. Oops. Oh, plastic. I don't want to do that. There we go. And then, lastly, the line. There we are. Alright, so let's bring, these are hot, so I'll just hold that in place. Let's bring the shrink, or the strain relief into position, and then we will put, let's push that wire in so that the that lock, this clamp, wire clamp, will clamp onto something worth clamping onto. Alright, so it did grab the nut. That's good. Oh, good, and I'm not totally out of frame either. And then the top will go back on. Line the screw up with the hole. Solder out of the way, and then put that nut back in the bottom. There we are. Now that end's ready. So next, we'll get this end ready. Alright, and those are now tinned, stripped and tinned. I need a convenient way to deal with this. Let's see, this cap kind of pops off. And then we need, we need the circuit board, which is right here. You can see it goes in, folded over like that. In fact, I made a video on rebuilding one of these. If you check in my past videos, you'll see where I fixed one of these driver boards. This is not one of them. I'm actually using the ones that I fixed. But in that video I show you that line and neutral are here. So we'll get the old wires that used to go to the tips out of the way. It had the, standard bi-pin base. These are T8, I believe, if I remember. So I'm just going to add some new solder. Oops. Let's get in a frame. Here we are. I'm going to add some new solder. Then we will get our wires ready. We're going to feed our wires through the wire gland, which I almost forgot to do. Because if you solder your wires before doing that, it's really difficult to get the gland on. In fact, it's basically impossible. That whole law of physics thing. Alright, so I'm going to trim the end off because you don't need much. Alright, and then the line is going to go here. You'll notice I partially tinned the ground. What I'm going to try to do with the ground is wrap it underneath the plastic end so that it is touching the outside of the tube, and it's just kind of held there by pressure. So let's just get the neutral now, like that. There we go. Those are connected. Now I'm going to feed it back in, and I'll show you what I mean about the ground. I'm going to try and wrap it under like that when I slide the plastic back on. So we'll bring the plastic back down, and that should, yep, that'll do it. Oh, I never cleaned out that mounting hole. It's leftover support from when I printed these. I printed a little countersink for the mounting screws. There we go. Oh, a little bit left. Alright, that's pretty good. Now I'm going to tighten the gland down so that it squishes and seals the wire, like that. That's ready to go. Now I can go put this over my bench and get some more light. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Do the, all the normal YouTube like and rate and all that fun stuff. So, as usual, thank you for watching.